Bonjour, bonjour, welcome to this new lesson. Today we're going to talk about one of my least favorite lessons, but it's a necessary evil for a few reasons. Number one, if you're in school, high school or college, and you go over this lesson, you'll have to know it because they'll drill you on this just the time that you take this lesson, and then it will be gone, more or less. It seems like a bit of a detail. It seems like a bit of a detail. I think that's why I don't really like to go over this lesson. And plus, it really has to do with things that really don't apply much to conversational French, to things you would say on a daily basis. That's why I don't like this lesson. But we'll go over it anyway. And it's small. Usually, so either you're in school and you have to know it. And usually, you get it in French 1, second semester most of the time. And you'll get tested on it. So you have to know. Or you're an adult and you want to learn French. And well, you bump into this. You'll see it in written French, and you'll think, well, that's weird. So you want to know. Okay, so here it is. Here's the lesson. The weird EER verb. So this is the lesson on the weird ER verbs. I would call them. Okay, you can put it that way. The ER verbs that end with a GER, CER, and YER, such as voyager to travel, commencer to start, payer to pay, manger to eat, partager to share, nager to swim, balayer to sweep. Okay, those are the kinds of verbs that I'm talking about. And again, it's a really, really small detail on all of these verbs. It won't change your lives, but just so that you know it, let's get it over with. All right, let's go. So the trick about the GR verbs, they're completely normal ER verbs. The only thing is, if you ever want to use the new form, and in schools they'll drill you on that new form, okay? Again, the new form, what I'm saying it's not very useful is that the new form is never used in spoken French. So why bother with it? Okay, but in schools they want to bother with you. But in schools they want to bother you with it, all right? And when it comes to adults, if you read a book, you run into that and you'll think, well, that's weird. I thought we dropped the ER, okay? So here's what it is. In terms of pronunciation, if you want to pronounce the zh sound, we have to keep the E of GER verbs on the new form, okay? Otherwise, it would be pronounced like a G. And we don't want a G sound, we want a zh sound. And for that reason, we have to keep the E. So we swim if you want to use the new form, even though, as I said, I'll repeat again, new is super formal. The French use it 1% of the time or less. So not useful at all when you speak French. But in written French, if you want to write a nice essay, if you want to read books, you'll run into it. Okay, so nous nageons, we swim. To share is partager. You say we share, nous partageons. We move with nous bougeons, like we move like this. Now we're moving out. It's different. Even though it would apply, that's that verb here. Nous bougeons, we move. We download, to download it applies to. It's nous téléchargeons, we keep the E. To move out, move out is déménager. So nous déménageons, d'accord? We have accent aigu on both E's. Nous déménageons. We're moving out. We're staying with a friend. Okay, remember the verb to stay with someone, to stay at a hotel. Don't use the verb rester, which is the dictionary translation of to stay. It's to lodge at someone's house or to lodge at a hotel. So loger, okay, that's the verb you want to use, not rester. Rester is I'm staying here. I'm staying still. I'm standing still. Je reste debout, tranquille. Okay? Nous logeons chez Steve. We're staying with Steve. Loger, okay? But again, this is super formal. That's what you want to use if you write in French. But if you want to speak French, most people will say on nage, on partage, on bouge, on télécharge. We're downloading a song. On télécharge une chanson. On déménage. We're moving out. We're moving. On déménage. On loge chez Steve. We're staying with Steve. D'accord? So there you go. All right. If you're taking French at school, it's right here. Other than that, it's almost useless. But there you go. If you want to get an A, here's what it is. Regarding CR verbs, very much the same thing. CR verbs are just regular ER verbs, okay? The only thing that's different, if you want to use a new form, once again, a C followed by an A or a U or an O, you have to put a CD, what we call the CD, cedilla, under the C, which looks like a little 5, like this. Because otherwise, it'll be pronounced like a K. Without it, it would be nous commençons, but we want to pronounce an S. So we put that underneath, and that's like an S sound. So nous commençons, we're starting or we're beginning. Nous commençons. Nous lançons. Lancer is the verb to throw. Nous lançons. C-E-R. Effacer. Effacer, E-F-F-A-C-E-R, is to delete or to erase. So nous effaçons, we're deleting, we're erasing, we delete, we erase. Nous effaçons. To replace is remplacer. Nous remplaçons, we're replacing. Again, this is super formal. The French, and when they speak, they would say on commence. We're starting in 5 minutes. It's on commence dans 5 minutes. We're throwing the ball. On lance la balle. On efface le tableau. On remplace. We're replacing the teachers. On remplace les profs. D'accord? Finally, the YER verbs. Let me tell you about those. All right? This is the American version. The truth is that we have 2 spellings allowed, okay? We have 2 spellings allowed. But this is what they want you to learn in American schools and universities. They'll tell you that the Y turns into an I for the je, tu, il, elle, on forms as well as il, elle plural, okay? And you only keep the Y for the nous and the vous forms. So for schools, if you want to get an A, this is what you have to learn, okay? Je paye, tu payes, il paye, nous payons, vous payez, il paye. The truth is that we have 2 spellings allowed. You can totally keep the Y throughout the conjugation. Je paye. And we pronounce it 2 ways. That's what's interesting about it. You can say je paie or je paye. And you say je paye, it's really P-A-Y-E. Je paye, tu payes, il paye, nous payons, vous payez, il paye. So it can be a Y throughout the conjugation instead of the I, and it's fine. We accept both, okay? But in American books that teach French as a foreign language, they assume that that's what they want you to learn, and they said that's the only truth. And unfortunately, I think if you read a Y, they tell you it's wrong, even though it's right. All right? So there you go. Now let's see a few examples. Bégayer, B-E-G-A-Y-E-R. That's the verb to stutter. Il bégaye. And you can say il bégaye, really, A-Y-E. Il bégaye, il bégaye. And she was Miss France, I can't remember what year, but her name was interesting. Her name was, her last name was Beg, like a stutterer. He's a stutterer. Il est bègue. Okay? Il bégaye. Il bégaye. You can say both. Il bégaye or il bégaye. I think most people say il bégaye though, with a Y. Il bégaye. Il est bègue. He's a stutter. He has a stutter. Il est bègue. Elle est bègue. Same thing. To bark is aboyer. 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 This is the infinitive. So he's barking, or he barks, is il aboie. Il aboie. Okay? Il aboie fort. He's barking loudly. Il aboie fort. Il aboie fort. Remember, fort is strong and loud. I'm sending an email to the boss. J'envoie un mail au patron. J'envoie, I'm sending, un mail. We can say un mail or un email au patron. To the plus masculine word is au patron. Le patron, the boss. Okay, let's try. You have to conjugate the verb. I'll throw in a bunch of different verbs. Sometimes they're just regular verbs, okay? Don't let yourself get caught. Whenever you're ready, you can pause the video, and whenever you're ready, you hit play again. This one, we're starting the movie. We're starting the movie now. Nous commençons le film. Again, super formal. We don't say like this. When we speak, we'll say on commence. On commence le film. All right, so this is really the way we would say it when we speak. On commence le film. But just for the sake of doing this, for this exercise, nous commençons le film. We're starting the movie. Then, do you listen to rock? You listen some rock. Okay, some plus a masculine singular word like rock is du, remember? Tu écoutes du rock. Oh, there's no trick on that one. That's not even one of the 3 verbs that we just went over. It's a regular ER verb. Tu écoutes du rock. Do you listen to rock? Remember, when we speak fast, we'll skip the U and say t'écoutes. T'écoutes du rock? T'écoutes du rock? Ensuite, we're sharing a meal. How beautiful. We're sharing a meal. Nous, and to share is the verb partager. Partager. A meal is un repas. Un repas. It has an S. So in the plural, if you talk about meals, you don't add a second S. There's already an S. Okay? We don't say it. It's silent. Un repas. Nous partageons un repas. Nous partageons un repas. D'accord? So again, this is super formal, but in everyday French, we say on partage un repas. On partage un repas. And again, E in second position. Remember, I told you it would be silent. If someone speaks fast, they'll say on partage un repas. We'll skip the E. On partage un repas. D'accord? I'm sending an email with the verb envoyer. To send. Envoyer. Envoyer. J'envoie un email. J'envoie un email. We often travel with the verb voyager. We often travel with the verb voyager. Sorry, you can see the R, it's very small. But it's voyager, to travel, voyager. The adverb often is souvent. IN is pronounced en. The T is silent. Souvent. Nous voyageons souvent. Nous voyageons souvent. Remember, the adverb goes after the verb in French, okay? Strange, but that's what it is. We often travel is we travel often. Nous voyageons souvent. In regular French, we say on voyage souvent, okay? That's more casual. On voyage souvent. Do you like Paris? No trick, it's a regular verb, it's aimer. Tu aimes Paris? Again, if I speak... tu aimes Paris? Again, if I speak faster, I'll drop the U and say t'aimes Paris? T'aimes Paris? Do you like Paris? Do you play soccer? Vous jouez au foot? Remember, you play at something, so you say you play at the soccer. Vous jouez au foot? Do you play soccer? Vous jouez au foot? Vous jouez au golf? Vous jouez au tennis? Vous jouez au foot américain? Football, American football. She's paying the cashier. Elle paie la caissière. Elle paie la caissière. She's paying the cashier. Elle paie la caissière. D'accord? Again, you could say elle paie. Most people would pronounce it elle paie, which means they would really write it P-A-Y-E. Elle paie la caissière. This is a female cashier. Male cashier is le caissier. Le caissier. D'accord? La caisse is the cash register is la caisse. D'accord? The cash register, la caisse. He's sweeping. The verb to sweep is balayer. Balayer. Again, balayer. Layer, same sound. And you would say il balaye. You can say it both ways, il balaye or il balaye, with A-Y-E. Il balaye or il balaye. D'accord? And the last one, are you cleaning the kitchen? With the verb nettoyer, to clean. Nettoyer. Nettoyer. Are you cleaning the kitchen? Vous nettoyez la cuisine? Vous nettoyez la cuisine? D'accord? That's it for today. That's the end of this lesson. Go over the practice exercises, written and oral comprehension. And otherwise, don't worry about too much about this lesson. If you're not doing this for school, it's not the most useful lesson in the world. Okay? I still hope you learned something. I'll see you soon for another lesson. Salut!